All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Golfballing Podcast, episode 244. We have the lovely Jake Adams. It has been forever. You are absolutely thriving. I'm super excited for this. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. There's ladies that listen to this podcast.
I think we're down to 7% now, but we got 8% lady
Oh wow,
listeners.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
great. Good for you.
I'm sure most of it's my mom and girlfriend. Um, but yeah, I'm excited. So, all right, so you haven't been on here in forever. I haven't seen you in forever. We had Jake Adams on here a very long time ago. I think that was 2020. You were a top 20 episode, I want to say. We played a great game of golf together, and was that during your 50 states 30-day ball
That
challenge?
was before I was
Okay.
traveling cross country in an RV, but that was before I did the 50 states thing.
Okay. Yeah, because that was cool. You were with Adam, right?
Yeah, the
And
homie Adam.
I had
Yeah.
Nick. You gave me. I don't know why I didn't have a polo, but you gave me a polo from the RV, and I
Oh,
still have it to this day.
oh wow,
Yeah,
that
it
was
was a
nice.
kind of raggedy,
Oh,
old
okay.
school. It's fucking big. It was a big white polo. I'll never throw it out. How you doing,
Yeah,
man?
that checks out. I'm doing great, dude. I'm in New York right now. I've been
Oh,
here for the
really?
last month, and
Oh, cool.
yeah, excited to get back home eventually. But
Oh, so you're
yeah,
short term?
yeah. My girlfriend lives here, so
Oh,
been
cool.
out here for a bit. But yeah, it's been a while since I've done this podcast. I remember you just being just one of the best interviewers in the world. So I'm just excited to see where you got cooking
Yeah, I'm
today.
sure. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure nothing has changed. I think the last time you were on the pod, you were in I think you were like back where is home? California?
Cape Cod. It
Cape
was during
Cod. Oh,
COVID, so
that's
I went
right.
back home to the Cape and
Yeah.
just kind of posted up there for almost a year.
Yeah. Dude, I don't even know where to begin because like even just as myself, I have so many questions. Country club adjacent. I mean, you guys are reaching close to 1 million Instagram followers. Your personal Instagram, all that stuff's gonna be linked below, by the way. We're gonna have your Instagram, country club adjacent, all that fun stuff down in the links if you
Appreciate
guys
it.
want to check out Jake. But I don't even know where to start. I actually I want to ask you a quick question because when you were first on the pod, you were a comedian and you were, I mean, I remember like seeing stories and posts about it. Are you still running stand up?
Not really.
No,
And it's one of the better life decisions I think I've ever made. Just
really.
not feeling the stress every day of going out and trying to make people laugh every night.
Yeah.
I like going out to dinner a lot more. It's a lot less stressful. I think
Yeah.
eventually maybe I'll get back into it a little bit. Occasionally, Country Club Adjacent will have a show, so I'll
Oh
have to
shit.
kind of get it up for that. But not avidly pursuing it right now. Kind of got caught up in all the social media stuff, building a business.
Yeah.
It's pretty all consuming, but
Dude,
I've been enjoying it.
you're freaking killing it. Um I Country Club Adjacent, I don't know if you guys, I'm sure everyone has heard of it or at least seen it. Dude, I was literally scrolling TikTok the other day and I saw a St. Andre golf video. And obviously I'm watching that video because those guys are hilarious. And holy shit, that's Jake Adams. I commented like, holy shit, that's Jake Adams. I mean, you're freaking killing it. I'm really curious. I mean, you guys blew up. It's you, Blake Weber,
Uh,
who's got like a really funny ass Instagram, always has. Griffin,
Griffin Pippin, and then Mark
Blake,
Smalls.
Mark. Okay.
Yep,
I'm
yep.
really curious how you guys started because aren't you all comedians?
Yeah, all kind of met through stand up, except for Mark. I didn't know him. And I called him to do this week-long RV trip for a TV pilot that just never came out. This was
Oh, really?
October of 2020, and I called about 20 people before Mark because I didn't know Mark.
Oh.
And a friend of a friend, he thought I was a bill collector, so he didn't pick up until like the third call. And he, came on this trip because it was COVID and nobody else had anything to do. And, just kind of was kind of the ethos of Country Club Adjacent is kind of getting together for that week. And our chemistry was so good. I knew that there was a lane in the golf world for comedians, and so we just kind
Yeah.
of pursued it ever since then.
Yeah. I mean, I can't emphasize this enough. Go to the Country Club Adjacent YouTube channel. I mean, you guys are. I don't know how you guys get away with some of these titles. Acid, mushrooms. I don't know how. I don't know how YouTube are those videos even monetized. Like, you guys post the most. I can't think of a better word than outlandish, edgy. You guys post like the best kind of edgy golf content in the entire world. I'm super curious how it like formed because you ran like you were saying, and like right before I met you, you're running 50 states, 30 days, 1 month, where you're hitting golf ball in every single state. Like
Hmm.
that was on the news,
Yeah,
wasn't it on the news? Like
yeah,
like this is all like coming back to me right here, right now. Um, I mean that was dude, that was like the most fascinating, inspiring thing.
oh, thanks, man.
50 states in 30 days
Yeah,
in
yeah.
an RV. Who was with you?
That was actually I slept in a Subaru for that. I did it by
Oh, did you
myself.
really?
Set up a little pad in the back of a Subaru and slept in some pretty sketchy places along the way, and
I'm
just
sure
sent
you
it, dude.
did.
You know, I planned it
How
like a couple days prior. At the time, I remember like I never really worked with any sponsors up until that point.
Mm.
And Pins and Aces, which is like a clothing
Oh
company.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I remember I got off the phone with the guy, and he's like, I asked for like 5 grand, like thinking like there's no way somebody's ever gonna give me $5,000 to do something.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'll give you 2,500, and then if you make it through half the states, you'll get the other 2,500. I was like, let's go.
Fuck
Uh,
yeah.
and that's literally all the money I think I had at the time. Maybe I had a
Yeah.
couple $100 saved up other than that, and just kind of sent it. Luckily at the time gas prices weren't crazy, and kind of made it. I think halfway through I was like, I'm gonna need some more money. Even this other 2,500 is not gonna cut it. So I did like a little bit of a GoFundMe, raised a couple other
Oh,
grand,
okay. Yeah.
and that kind of got me through. But that was kind of the big jump start for me at the time.
Did you have you had a loose plan, right? Of or did you not? Of like
Yeah,
where you're
I knew
going in
it's
each state.
kinda. It was a lot of on the go, you
Mm.
know. Luckily, didn't get in any accidents, but there was a lot of like
Fuck.
mapping out on my phone. But
Yeah.
there was nobody on the road too because it was COVID. So
Yeah.
you could swerve a little bit. But I knew which states I was going to go. And at the beginning of the trip, I used the 2,500 to buy a plane ticket to Alaska and Hawaii because I knew I was going to do those last.
Oh, okay.
From I went Seattle was the third to last state, so
Okay.
did all of them, and then had those tickets. So I'm like, I got to finish this because I got these tickets. They're
Yeah.
non-refundable, you know.
Dude, that
Um,
is baller. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
like that, like you've got a freaking long. I don't even remember last time I noted a freaking podcast. There's a bunch of stuff that you've done in the last 4 years since I've talked to you, but I mean, so are you just sleeping like wherever you decide you're tired? Better question. How many hours of the day are you driving, do you think?
It varied, but sometimes it'd be like 12 or 14 hours of driving in a day. And
Yeah.
I like got used to that. But
Mm,
other times, it was like days where like, East Coast the states are a bit closer. It's
yeah.
maybe like 5 or
Mm,
6 hours, but there were some long days for sure. I think the longest drive was from where was I, like Madison, Wisconsin, and I drove all the way down to Paynes Valley, and I think that was like 13 hours straight because I was like, oh, I could play the 19th hole of Paynes Valley,
mm,
just go in just to hit one shot. And so I was like, okay, I'm sending it. I've always wanted to go to
yeah.
there. It would be like iconic to hit a shot for Missouri, where Paynes
Yeah.
Valley is. So
I mean,
yeah.
dude, that's insane. Are you like probably texting and driving the whole damn trip? I assume, I mean, it was only 30 days, but I assume like, because I remember watching this. Like, you
Mhm.
went to it wasn't the Bean. Was it Lake Michigan in Chicago? Where'd you hit in Chicago?
Chicago. No, it was just like kind of the city backdrop where
Okay.
the water is there.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I remember you like hit me up, maybe asking where I lived or something like that when you were in or going towards that state. Maybe I'm mistaken, but dude, that's the craziest thing. So I assume it probably picked up like after a couple of videos minimum.
Yeah, I kind of got lucky with the first one because you put it out and you're like, I'm gonna hit a golf ball in every state in America in 30 days, and then like half the comments are like, no, this is a prank.
Yeah.
He's not doing it, right? And then like the next day, I'm in a different state, and people are like, "Wait, is this kid fucking real right now?" So it was. I picked up some steam kind of early on, and then along the way had some good moments that the clips did well, and just kind of snowball effect for sure for that one.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
remember why we were golfing together somewhere in Illinois?
That was like when I very first started making golf content, or like
Mhm.
I think at that time I got a job running Golfers Doing Things, which is
Oh
now
yeah,
like
that's right.
Bob
Yeah.
does, yeah. So like
Yeah.
it's now Bob Does Sports, like Breezy Golf, but it used
Yeah.
to be called Golfers Doing Things. So I was just like, I'm gonna drive across country and meet all these people that have these big golf accounts.
Mhm.
It's just to get to know them, and that was kind of the goal. And so I just was like, let's just send it. That was a big
Yeah.
part of like, getting into any new industry. I've always kind of had the mentality of like, let's find out everything about this world and let's meet all the people. And then from there, you can kind of base your own opinions and find out really where the openings are, what lanes you can take. And so that was kind of just stepping into the golf world. I'm like, okay, well, Jackson, this little like 17-year-old little punk at the time, had this like huge golf account. And I was like, oh, I got to meet this kid. I think I met like PGA memes, like the
Nice.
group chat golf guys.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Sonny and
Sonny,
Chubba.
yeah.
So yeah, that was a big part of it, just meeting people.
Yeah, I remember of just like 19th hole in the bar, just drinking with you, Nick, Adam, and
Yeah.
just shooting the shit. I mean, that was great. I still have that freaking golf shirt, man. It's the most random thing. I don't know why I showed up to a golf course without a polo, but you hooked it up, so thank you. And
Yeah, I
always,
mean, now I try to only wear t-shirts at golf courses, a lot
yeah,
more like opening up to be okay with that, which is
yeah.
great.
So did
So
that was yeah, dude, because you're a freaking comedian, man. That's badass. Running golfers doing things. That was still a big ass page back in the day. How old
yeah,
are
yeah.
you?
Me, 32.
You're 32.
Yeah, pretty
What's
old.
that feel like?
It's weird, like I feel like I should own a home.
No, screw all that. So after 50 states, 30 days, did stuff just? I assume everything just kind of begins to ramp up, or at least like on the map as far as a more notable, outside of golfers doing things. You're Jake Adams. You're the dude who just ripped 50 states in 30 days, hitting the golf ball in every single state. Did
It
that like kind of
definitely
just skyrocket?
No, I mean, it definitely gave me some momentum, but at the same time, we were kind of just starting Country Club Adjacent, and then like pretty soon after that, we started, we like found out like figured out like the back off challenge,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
from there, I just kind of used the same mentality of like the 30-day challenge to get people to see it, right? Because we're like, oh, this is really fun, this is really funny, it's easy to shoot, and we can roast anybody that we
yeah.
play golf with. And so then we just did like a 30-day challenge for the back offs. We just went to random courses, just like, tried to roast people
Mm,
and if they were willing. And then, that kind of snowballed the growth of Country Club Adjacent. And then I really didn't focus on my own page for like 2 years. I just kind of went all into Country Club Adjacent because I saw like so much potential there. And I'm just now getting back to like my own personal page and like put some stuff on there. But yeah, like, the next 2.5 years were just all about Country Club Adjacent and how to build that out, you know, first time starting a business. So figuring out how to get sponsors and how to,
yeah.
like hire people and there's just so much
How,
behind it.
how'd that start?
What's that?
Like Country Club Adjacent?
Oh yeah, like I was saying, like the RV trip. Well, I started Country Club Adjacent on my own before
Oh
the
shit.
other three
Okay.
guys. But I just did like a podcast like we're doing now. Like it was beginning of COVID. I started a couple weeks before COVID and just over Zoom, me and somebody
Yeah.
else. That's some like, LPGA Tour people, other comedians mostly on the podcast. And, never really like put too much time into it until I linked up with the other guys and we're like, okay, well, let's start a page together. And I was like, well, I already have the name Country Club Adjacent. Let's just use that. But it would be our thing. And yeah, then we just kind of ran with that.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, it's a dude. You guys are like the perfect edge to the golf world. Like, cause like I said, like you go to the Country Club Adjacent YouTube channel, you got golf tournaments on acid, you got mushrooms versus what was it? Mushrooms versus weed versus alcohol. You play
Yeah.
golf with John Daly, the back off challenge that you're just saying. I remember off the dome, Donald Trump. I remember Caitlyn Jenner. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you guys are fucking huge. You have
Yeah. I
probably
mean,
like 2 million combined followers now.
yeah.
And
We're,
then you were always like, I mean, it's good content. It's great content. It's funny. It's super different than like, something like a Golfballing or Zyre back in the day. Um, I mean, dude, like fucking Donald Trump, right? Donald
yeah.
Trump, Caitlyn
Yeah.
Jenner. Like, what the absolute fuck, man? That's so exciting. Now you're trying to find the best. I don't know why this feels weird to say out loud. You're trying to find the best Jewish golf club.
That feels weird for you.
Yeah, it does. Does it not sound
Yeah.
weird to hear?
Yeah, dude,
I
I'm
just
on a
fucking
mission to
doing it
find the
every day.
nicest Jewish country club in the world.
In the world.
I played. Yeah, dude. I mean, I think the series is going to end in Israel. There's a couple golf courses there.
Nice.
When things are a bit safer to go over there, but yeah, there's a couple in the UK. I've had people hit me up from Mexico, from Colombia.
Wow.
Jews are everywhere. There's
Nice.
a lot more than you think. And yeah, dude, it's been unbelievable. Like, you should just see the list of Jews I have on my phone right now. It's just like a real powerhouse of country club members at these Jewish places. And it's just all like comedy, right? Like, it's funny
Yeah.
to go into a country club and rate if they have toothbrushes or not, or their pickles, or like how their sauna steam room is.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like a hook to rate these country clubs, and it's been unreal. Like,
I'm sure.
the invites I've gotten, like some of the courses I've played have been like truly the best courses I've ever played.
Yeah, they look it on your Instagram paired with CCA or Country Club Adjacent. That's like, I mean, freaking genius. I mean, it's perfect for both you and the bigger, brand. When
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
that like 2 or 3 weeks ago? A couple weeks, month.
I've been trying to post them every week. So like every Monday I put out a
When did
new.
it start?
I started like 3 months ago, but
Oh,
then I put the first one out with only one. Like, I only reviewed one, and the country club kind of freaked out. Like, because
oh,
super private
really?
club. Obviously, it's
Okay.
a bit of a difficult time, just like pointing out Jews. So I understand where they're coming from, but really, it's kind of like the baseline of it is just like the access. I think these country clubs are super stuffy, and they should, it's a private club. They can do whatever they want. But
Yeah.
I love just showing access to people. I think that's like a big message behind golf, just being, more accessible.
Mm.
And yeah, so I kind of was just like stuck with it. And like, I put the first video out. It was up for maybe like 4 or 5 days. And within that time, I got a few more invites to other country clubs.
Okay.
So then I was like, oh, great. I'll just I actually flew to Chicago. I haven't put
Nice.
that one out, but I did Briarwood in Chicago.
Oh, cool. Wow. Nice.
And yeah, so, and I just like kind of backlogged a few more. I've been in New York, just like hanging with all the Jews out here, and yeah, just traveling around this summer, going to all these different places.
Yeah. Well, you gonna move to New York full time? It seems like, I mean, East Coast golf, country club. That's a
Yeah,
spot, man.
this is the time to be out here. August,
Yeah.
September. It's you can't beat the weather. It's like 70 degrees and just absolutely perfect for golfing. So I'm trying to hit as many as I can while I'm here. I've been here for like almost a month. So yeah, then I got to go back to LA eventually.
Yeah, dude, that sounds like I'm binging, keeping up with the Kardashians. The last 2 days, I feel like a piece of freaking shit, man. That city
What
looks
are you doing?
like it's the place to be. I know. It's on free cable TV, and you just turn the TV on, and it's the default channel, and I don't know, man. It's just good. But yeah, I live down in Florida now, so I always forget
really?
that September and I mean, fucking October's dicey depending on the weather. Just like
Yeah,
for golf.
I mean, Florida, like Boca and Palm Beach, just a real
Yeah,
mecca for Jews.
yeah.
So I'm gonna make a trip down there this winter and
Oh, nice.
hit some clubs down there.
Hell yeah. I'm moving to the Tampa area in less than a week. So if you're ever there,
Oh, nice.
not to hop on one of your
Yeah, dude, we'll play
excursions,
for
but if
sure.
you ever want to get a beer or whatever, let me know. But
Yeah,
man, that's dude, the country club adjacent thing is just like, especially now being a smaller scale company, air quotes. I mean, it's really cool. I mean, how do you manage like being good friends and honestly just like running a company together?
yeah. I mean, it's not always easy, but I think that we've done such a good job of just like talking through any sort of issue we've ever had,
Mm,
and I think we're all closer now because of it.
yeah.
We have like some things put into place. Like if somebody like brings something in, there's more benefits there. But ultimately, it's just like getting the best out of your friends, right? And kind of everybody works differently, so it took a while to kind of figure out. I'm still learning the best ways to like get the most out of somebody. Like you can't just be like, hey, did you make a thing? Like, did you make this
Yeah, yeah.
post? There's just ways to talk to people that it's like going to motivate them. And I think the biggest way is just to motivate them by like showing them like I'm doing this myself.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm doing
Fucking
the work.
great example. Yeah.
And I think everybody's competitive a little bit, which is good.
Mm,
And they see one person's doing a series that's doing well. It's going to motivate them to like find their own thing, and work
mm,
harder.
yeah. So do you guys like, because you're with Liv, right?
Yeah.
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 So do you guys like, I mean, it's four people. You're out here in New York City. I assume everyone else is probably back in the LA area.
Yeah, everybody's in LA right
Okay.
now. But it's great because I can be out here and they'll hold down the ship while I'm doing other stuff. And
Yeah.
we have meetings every week and stuff to make sure
Oh,
everybody's
cool.
dialed in.
Yeah.
But yeah, they'll do the podcast while I'm out here, and there'll be weeks where like Mark goes on tour. He's been opening up for like Burt Kreischer a lot. So
Nice.
like
Wow. Really
yeah,
cool.
it's great. But he'll like travel for like maybe a month or 2 months at a time. But like we're like, yeah, we'll hold it down. It's a great opportunity for you, and we'll keep everything going while you're doing that. So that part's
Mm,
been great. Where they like, yeah, go do the thing that like is the most exciting right now, and that's why it's great to have four people.
yeah. Isn't that your bio?
What's that?
Go do the thing or do the thing.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I guess I just said that. Yeah, yeah. Maybe I should change it now if I'm starting to just say it openly.
No, I love it, man. I'm seriously I like just seeing your personal Instagram. Like I definitely noticed. I've been out of the space for a little bit, but I definitely noticed more focus. I mean, because Country Club adjacent to it, it's freaking. And I feel like ever since so when you told me that it was just you starting it up early, I do remember that very vaguely. I don't know when it started to really hit. It had to have been 2021, and I feel
Yeah,
like
for
ever
sure.
since then it's been, I mean, through the roof, dude. You guys are at an insane amount of followers, and
Yeah,
you
we're
guys
working
post
on it,
the
dude.
best stuff. What's next on the
Appreciate it.
docket here as far as collaboration in the group?
I mean, we definitely have some cool stuff planned, kind of like bigger things we want to do. One thing we I think we're gonna do probably early in the spring next year, but similar to like the 50 states thing, but we want to go like RV probably this time, around so you
Cool.
don't have to sleep in a Subaru, but
Yeah,
like
Jesus,
try
dude.
to do like a back off challenge with somebody in every state in America.
Oh, cool.
So, like good way to bring people out, people that follow the page,
Yeah.
like, go to a random golf course, bring people out, kind of roast them on the tee box, post it as a
Mm.
video, move on to the next state.
Got to get off topic here. I mean, a Subaru isn't that a sedan, or do you have an
Yeah,
SUV?
hatchback. I had a little hatchback, you know.
So you just take those seats back and
Yeah, fold them all the way down.
figure
I
it
had this
out.
little pad. What?
Figure it out. Yeah, you got the pad.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I slept in some weird places for sure.
Do you
Um,
just get off the highway and just
yeah, dude. I didn't pay for parking one time, so
no?
even yeah, like there's a couple times I like snuck into campgrounds, but it was also COVID because
Yeah.
but like a lot of times I would literally just like rest stop on the side of the highway. I have to wake up at 6 in the morning and drive 8 hours to get to this place. So,
Mm.
don't really have much time to. I think I slept in like maybe 3 hotels along the way,
Oh wow,
and
jeez, dude.
yeah, it was a real treat. One night, my grandmother got me a hotel. It's
Oh,
kind of sick.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and then one of the nights I did like a thing for the Golf Channel, and they got me a hotel, and I was like, oh, I've made it, dude. This is incredible.
Hell yeah. I just did. I just drove to the Outer Banks. I think it was 12 to 14 hours. I ripped the whole thing in one night. The first on the way back, and then the way freaking home. Man, that was like a week later. That was still brutal, and it's only like, I mean, 12 hours probably nothing to you at this point, but I can't even imagine doing that for one consecutive month, not even knowing where you're sleeping. Do you ever have technical issues recording the shot?
Not really that because it was so simple. It's an iPhone, right? iPhone and the
Yeah,
tripod is
tripod.
all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But maybe
Yeah,
there was like
no,
a wind gust, low on
nothing
storage.
crazy.
No,
What's that? Low on
low on
storage? No, no,
storage.
no. Got the cloud on lock. There was like a one moment with the car
Oh
that
shit!
was
I didn't even think about that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then also when I was at Paynes Valley in Missouri, I like lost my car key somewhere on the golf course, and I was like, well, this is it. This is how this ends. I don't have a spare. I can't like afford to buy another key. It's going to take too long to get it shipped here. And we searched for like literally 2 hours, and I finally found it like on the side of a car path somewhere,
Oh
and
Jesus,
it just kept it trucking. Just dipped out immediately.
Jesus, man.
Yeah,
That's such a cool. I'm trying to do stuff like that. I just saw Sonny did uh the Top Golf ice cream
yeah, yeah,
truck.
yeah.
Very
I just
similar
played with
type
them
idea.
like 3 days ago here in New York.
Oh yeah,
Um, yeah, I met up with them. Dude, that's so cool what they were doing. Just traveling across the country
yeah,
in an ice cream truck, just
yeah.
giving out free ice cream.
What's your scores at these days? I remember you. I actually remember you talking a bunch of shit. Um, and I was with Nick, who's, I mean, at this point, probably like a +4. At that point, he was probably +1, scratch,
Yeah.
something like that. What's the golf game looking like these days?
It's gotten a little better. I'm like
Yeah.
keeping it pretty consistently, like mid 70s, but
Oh, nice,
uh,
man.
last couple rounds have been a bit rough. I was like in the 80s for sure. So I can still shoot in the 80s with the best of them, but
Definitely.
luckily enough, like this summer, it came together a little bit. But dude, it's a tough game. It's ever changing.
Yeah. How many times a week do you think you play?
It really depends.
Yeah.
Sometimes like 3, 4. We'll get out there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What's the future in store for you? Once
Uh,
it hits fall and you got to head back west.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think I need to spend some more time building out the business because like we did the tough part of getting the following, but I want to make Country Club Adjacent like lasting in the future even without us, right? So that I'd love to open some physical locations like some
Oh,
simulator places that's in the pipeline. Apparel, we can do so much in that space, and like kind of like build out our tournament series. So
oh,
all that
cool.
kind of like more, like actual work side of things.
Yeah.
I gotta focus on because I've just been spending all my
Legacy.
time just playing with Jews this summer. So I haven't really been able to work.
It doesn't sound that bad. You got any
Yeah.
tips? You got any advice for the youngins, aka me? I mean, like the amount of no's you get on a pot. I mean, I like you guys probably don't have this issue at all. But I mean, typically back in the day, you see a golf ball account with 500K. I mean, you don't have to know me. You want somebody on the pod. I mean, they're probably hopping on the pod. Dude, the amount of fucking no's, the amount of no answers is real. I just had a couple of old buddies that I was on their podcast like many years ago, and they were kind of telling me they were like my first guest once Nick and Sean because when Golfballing got shut down, I didn't really do anything for like a year. You know, a complicated story, but when I got back into it 2 months or so ago, these guys were telling me like, man, I'm like fucking, you know, sending DMs, I'm sending emails every single day. The amount of no answers, the amount of no's. I mean, it's crazy. You got any advice for just, I mean, you're like literally the example, the epitome of like just freaking hard work, creative work, different work, and just kind of like not necessarily not saying no, but like it sounds way too cliche. Like, I mean, obviously not quitting, but you got any
Yeah, I mean,
words
dude,
of
it's
advice?
part of it. It's part of it. We get told no all the time.
Oh yeah.
You know, but you got to just keep shooting the shot, and you know, you're gonna get some people who are down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think the like advice I would have somebody starting out is like you have to make something that you want to see or that you don't see anybody else doing that interests you, and
Yeah.
that's gonna like come through to your audience, right? So, and also, you know, I think a little bit, you know, it was so sick when you were able to grow that big following for golf balling, but I think like the era of just like kind of like the reposts
Oh, it's
have kind of
done.
yeah,
Done.
it's kind of washed a little bit, and like I think people really want to see that personal attachment, you know, and like you have to
Yeah.
be the voice of your page. And I think that's what people are going to really attach onto, like flipping the camera around and talking right to the audience. I think this podcast is great, you know, example of that. But yeah, I think you like have to be. I just got off a call actually with this kid who his dad is just like pumping money into like building a social media account for him, but like the kid's not like that passionate about it.
Oh,
And at the end of the call, I was just like, guys, I don't think this is going to be worth it if the kid's not
heart's
like
not in it.
holding the camera or like, you know, the real motivator behind this whole page. Cause like
Yeah.
people are going to see right through it. They're going to be like, well, you know, who's funding this? Is this just this kid's dad? Like you know, and I think it really has to stem from the creator itself, just driving it. And there's so many ways to put out content every day that costs $0.
Yeah.
Right.
Just a phone.
Yeah, yeah. And so if you can't build a base off that, I don't think it's worth like putting an investment into. Um,
Mm.
and so, you know, I would get out there and just like find something that makes you different, something that makes you unique, you know, and just keep throwing stuff out there until you find something that clicks. And then just whatever that is, just hammer that home until people are like, relax. You'll see it in the comments. Enough of this already. But at that point, you already gained 100,000 more followers, and you know, then you can move on to the next thing.
Yeah. We're definitely in an authenticity era, no matter what niche you're in, especially golf, dude. I mean, all these golf meme pages, you know, that we're, you know, with golfers doing things, golf on, like,
Yeah,
I mean, even if it's like phenomenal original content as far as like a meme goes, a meme format, it's just, it's not the same, especially, you know, Instagram. Learned that the hard way. Obviously, you can't build a, you know, brand over a, you can build a brand over an Instagram, but you want, you know, longevity. You want a real business, real brand like you guys have. Um, but yeah, dude, the difference in Instagram is unbelievable. Like it really is. And I think even like original golf memes in like a video format's maybe the only way to grow unless you're like a Zyre or, you know, something big. Uh, it's a completely different landscape. Like you remember the private thing where you go private and people are sending memes. You just fucking open your phone, you got 600 followers, and you can see all the people through it. I mean, that was a good era. So you did it freaking money. You're killing it, dude. Keep killing it, obviously. If you're in Tampa, definitely shoot me a ring. And we'll get some
yeah,
golf
dude, and
going. But
just keep grinding. It was such a bummer to hear kind of all like the back end of what happened with your account, and you know, I'm sure you've probably talked about it on the pod before, so won't get into
it
it.
haunts me every fucking day, dude. I still get so many people asking me, why are you posting like on ways to golf? That's the new golf ball. Like, what are you like? What happened? You sell the page, you know, blah blah blah. And yeah, I can't even look at it, dude. It's been a year and a half. I can get taken down by the PGA Tour totally fine. And I dealt with that for 6 months and, you know,
Mhm.
tried the whole repost, trying to find good golf content type of thing. And that actually worked to get to like 10K in a couple of months or whatever. But um, yeah, the fucking page is back, and he's other day he fucking stole one of my big ball memes. I was so fucking pissed. But yeah, it
Yeah.
fucking sucked. It
But
fucking
yeah, I don't
sucked.
think like it's not gonna grow much,
No,
because he doesn't have like a
no.
voice behind it. So
Yeah.
yeah, dude, just I think focus on that and you'll be fine. You've done it before, you can do it again.
Fuck yeah. I gotta go watch that video you made. I don't know if you remember that. I feel like it was a series that you did. I remember I like made a video when we were golfing with Nick and Adam at whatever the hell course that was. And you actually were so freaking dope hooking me up with that info. Like, just fucking call the course, say, yo, I got
Yeah.
this amount of followers. Like, can we just play around, promote the page? Like, you were freaking huge at that. Um, but I remember you did like you wrote like a roast swing challenge. I remember like posting some dog shit video I
Oh
posted
yeah,
back in
yeah,
the day.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. But man, thanks for coming on. Everyone check out Jake Adams, Country Club Adjacent. I'll throw everything down below in the link to these whatever streaming site you're listening on. You got anything? Any goodbye message? A lot of pressure. I think I'm gonna kibosh that at the end of these pods. Any final words?
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Touche, man.
Mhm.
Well, I hope to see you someday soon, and keep killing it, man. I love seeing it. Love Country Club Adjacent, and I'm super glad that Jake Adams. What is it? Jake Adams 3,
That is correct.
33.
Yeah.
Jake Adams 3 is
Mhm.
picking up, dude. You're past 30K. It was always a really solid. You're a very funny dude, obviously with the comedian background. But thanks so much for coming on. Everyone, go check out your stuff, and hopefully you'll pop back on one day soon.
Appreciate it, brother. Thanks for having me on.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, we'll play some golf soon.